Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. Big episode planned for you this week. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy Schmidt. What's that noise? Oh my gosh. People, calm down. Just a normal guy. Don't be like, what's that? What's going on? Come on. Stop. Who's doing that?
What is
Why
this?
are people like it's Mr. Timothy Schmidt, right?
Dude.
Come on, folks. Can we give him some love? Hey, come on, one more time. Now let's hear it for Mr. Timothy Schmidt. Oh, get out of here. Nobody talks to my friend and co-host like that.
That's kind of brute. That's
Unbelievable.
that was uncalled for. I guess I deserve that. I deserve that
Well, you know what? Actually, when you've talked about in the past that there was cheering in the front and that you weren't getting the cheers and you should get cheers, someone had suggested to me that maybe I throw some booze in there when we introduce you just to see. Actually, I think he just suggested cheers, and I said, "Well, what about booze? Wouldn't that be better?" They might have agreed.
I do deserve the booze. I will say that, Tom, because I
Don't
haven't
beat yourself up, bud.
I haven't been a great co-host lately, and my work schedule has really dictated that for me. But I'm trying to fight back. I'm trying to bounce back, Tom, and I'm trying to right the ship here. So
Yeah,
bear with me here. Right now I got up at 3:30 this morning for work, and we're recording here
like five
it's like
after 10.
17 hours later. So I mean, I'm doing my best.
You're
I
doing
didn't
great.
I didn't make it through last night. I apologize. Tom was waiting for me. Usually at the time that we usually record, and uh, there was no one on the other end there, Tom. Was there?
No, it was to let the people know a little behind the scenes. We try to record on a certain night every night. With the Philly schedule and then work and stuff like that. Things have obviously been difficult. We try to juggle it so that we're consistently putting out the episodes on the days that we put them out. And so I showed up last night, signed in, ready to record, sent the invite. Time goes by. I'm like, hey, did you get the invite? Or is anyone there? What's going on? And after about, I don't know, 40 minutes, I said, all right, he's probably asleep. I knew you'd
Big
been up
guy.
since like 2:30 in the morning. So I was like, he probably passed out. And hey, you know what? We all need our sleep. And
Yeah.
things happen. I wouldn't let it
Yeah.
bother you too much. I know you felt bad this morning. I was like, I don't feel too bad that you let everyone down. But it's like,
We're back though. We're back and we're recording here. No one really knows what day we're recording, so I'm happy about it. I'm ready to go. I'm in an undisclosed location right now, and I'm cut off from the world, and I'm ready. My focus is on you, Tom, and what this podcast is all about.
yeah. And let me tell you, we got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to be covering a lot of things, some things about texting, Thanksgiving, underrated, overrated dishes, some stories from Thanksgiving. We're going to be talking about the turducken and the history of the turducken. We'll be giving you a fantasy football update and me and Timmy's bet that we have going and what's going on in our league. We're going to talk about Aaron Nola and the Eagles. And we also have to talk about my diet. So before we get to that, let's get to some of the comments from this past week. From our Bourbon Street is Trash video from Mike McD. He says Bourbon Street is great. And then we got an interesting message, an interesting DM from a fan of the show. And D_train4033 says, as someone who has been to NOLA 5 times, once even when there wasn't even a Bourbon Street, only a Bourbon sidewalk because they tore up the entire street due to a plumbing backup, and another time when I was in a bar while a mass shooting occurred directly outside of it. Can confirm Bourbon Street is an absolute shithole. Abomination with disgusting drinks and the same menu in every restaurant. On top of that, I was excited to see so many red Phillies hats until I realized they weren't actual fans, but hundreds of Bloods gang members walking around. Only positive during one trip was I sat 3 rows up from R-Truth, directly behind Heath Slater, and adjacent to Drew McIntyre because Raw was there that night. Got pictures with them all as we waited for our luggage. That's pretty
sounds like
cool.
sounds like a great night.
Yeah.
Besides the shooting.
Besides the mass shooting, it
Yeah.
seems like a wonderful time. We certainly covered Bourbon Street last week, and Timmy, you let us know your thoughts on it, and
He's
we
not gonna
appreciate
sway
those comments.
he's not gonna sway me in any direction. That's place is shit all. Right.
Sometimes it's
Uh,
nice to be at a good shithole, but sometimes it's like, oh God, what am I doing here?
I'm standing firm on that stance. Okay, I'm like there. I'm not moving off of it, and there's no one that can convince me that that place is even worth going back to for a fourth time.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to our in-season tournament explained video.
Oof.
This is where Tom blacked out and just kind of rambled off everything that goes on in the in-season tournament. From Mr. Cupcheck77, Tom's explanation of the in-season tournament was like Will Ferrell debating in Old School. I went and rewatched that clip because he was spot on with that. I went to a different like world when explaining that. It was just I was just holding it and it just came out.
You are not known for your sports savvy, if you will, and you went to a different place, Tom. You went to a place that I didn't know that you could go, and it was impressive to see. I was in awe. At the end of that video, I was dumbfounded as to even what you even said because I don't even know what the in season tournament is. So, I mean, you enlightened a lot of people there. I hope everyone experienced whatever you put out there, and they are now knowledgeable of what the in season tournament is. And that's it. It was like there's nothing else to be said about it, Tom.
Yeah.
You really delivered on all levels with that little soliloquy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And I will say this, people really aren't going to be paying attention now that the 76ers officially have been eliminated from the in-season tournament. They lost
Have
their
they?
second game. Yeah, they lost their second game last night, which would eliminate them from winning the group. And then they also eliminated themselves from possibly being the wild card too. So
Oh man.
they're out. They're out. All right.
Well,
Let's
the
go.
season's over. Let's cancel it. Let's move on to the next year.
Now, Black Work _ says stupid tournament, so the money and the love of the game is not enough. The NBA is all fucked up. I don't watch this crap. That's from Black Work.
Hmm.
And you know, I don't like the NBA is making this. I don't think this is for the players. Like they didn't pick to get paid more money or anything like that. I feel like this was the NBA's thing. So I don't know if that necessarily applies there.
Well, Tom, there's a lot of people that have different feelings on said tournament. I think you're leaving out one comment that we had from a fan.
Yeah, and Tim, I want to say maybe that comment's been taken down. Is that possible that he deleted the comment? It was on that video, wasn't it?
No, it was not.
There's nothing there now. So the other day we're at the bar and we're going over our rundown for the show. In walks a gentleman and apparently he's seen some of the clips and decided to comment. And his comment was, quote, dumb. Dumb. That's all he said. So we saw him and Timmy goes, yo, what's with the comment? You don't like the show? Because he didn't really clarify what was dumb. Are we dumb? Is the NBA dumb?
Was
Is
the
the
in season
show
tournament?
dumb?
Was
Is
it
the
the in season
in-season
tournament?
tournament dumb? Yeah, what's dumb? And
Specify.
Yeah.
What was dumb? Like, or were you not happy with our commentary?
Well, first he denied ever even doing it.
No,
I didn't do it.
I
Wouldn't
would
do that.
never, I would never do that.
On
I
what?
don't.
On
He,
what's Instagram?
yeah, his comment was, I don't even, whatever it's called. Insta what? I don't even know what it's called. Instagram? Is that what it's called?
Well, I guess he took it down because I can't find it now, but
You know what you did.
you know
Okay.
what you did. And
I put it,
whether or not he remembered actually doing it, at some point I saw in his eye the look of, shoot, I know I did that. Now, like
I,
either his memory was refreshed or what, and I saw and he's like, oh yeah, I did that.
oh, I made him bring it up in his inbox. I said, you commented on this, dude. I pointed at it. I was like, look, check out your outbox. And he, sure enough, he checked out his outbox. I'm like, dude, that was you. And he's like, I don't remember doing that. Why,
6 in
why
the
would,
morning. That couldn't have been me.
no, that wasn't me at all.
And he went and deleted it. That's hilarious. Well,
Anyway,
we love the saying dumb, and we think that's going to be a new catchphrase on the Schmidt and Lavelle show. So if you hear this right now, why don't you give us a dumb in the comments? Dumb, thumbs down emoji, or the opposite, not dumb, thumbs up. You can give us a not dumb with a thumbs up. All right, so we put out our video about pulp or no pulp, and this has gotten a lot of reaction. Majority and big time majority, no pulp. A
yes.
lot of no pulps. Everyone basically no pulp. There's a couple pulp weirdos out there, and that's fine. You're the ones drinking it. You pulp it up. All you want to do, but yeah, no pulp for me. No pulp for Tim. We're the what is it? Tropicana, no pulp.
Tropicana, no pulp. Actually, yeah, it's the green cap. It's just a solid orange juice every morning.
Yeah,
Just get after it. Get after it.
the choice of Schmidt and Lavelle. All right, let's get to our first thing. Timmy, we text a lot. We're in a group text. We text. Everyone texts. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone's texting, and sometimes that comes a bit frustrating. Like you send a text and you don't get a response. You don't get a response. You don't get a response.
Yeah.
5 hours later, oh, I'm just seeing this. What were you
Yeah.
asleep, or what was happening? How are you just seeing this? The texting as a whole. What's the maybe guidelines we should do for that?
I don't even know what the guidelines are. I'm more concerned about just it's well, I guess guidelines and text etiquette kind of fall hand in hand here, Tom, because like when like everyone has a phone at this point, right? Like
Right.
it's not like my dad is 80 years old. He has a cell phone, right? And I get that he's not going to answer every text. Like he gets involved on a group text and like he rarely ever texts, which is fine. But I would say the cutoff is got to be 50 and under. And if you're 50 and under and you have a cell phone, you need to respond to a text whenever you get a text. Like it's within at the latest, I would say a 10-minute window to respond to a text because you have your phone. More than likely you have kids, right? And more than likely your kids probably have cell phones. And you're probably worried about them whenever they're going out or doing whatever they want to do, or you probably track them doing like through their locations or whatever, and you want to make sure that they're doing okay. So at some point, at some way, some shape or form, you are checking your phone throughout the day, right? On a regular basis, at least every 3 to 5 minutes. So
Right.
if you get a text message, you need to respond. I would say a 10-minute window is more than fair to respond to any text message, whatever it is. Now, I will say I have a situation, and my girlfriend will absolutely acknowledge this that I see a text message and I will tend to forget to respond to her because I feel like I responded to her in my head, but I never but I never actually write the actual message. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I responded. I just didn't text it.
yeah, like, hey, how's your morning going? And I'm like, oh, it's great. How are you? And then I look at my text messages like later on. I'm like, fuck, I never texted that
Yeah.
shit.
I've done that.
Yeah. So I get that part of it, but like there's times where I feel like you need it's a 10-minute window that you need to respond in. And that's it. And I think that's really the standard response time on any text message.
I will say this though. When I'm at work, I miss a lot of text messages. I get busy, and next thing you know, I can't.
Well,
There's no looking at the phone.
you're in a little bit of a different industry, Tom. You're a bartender, and yeah, there's a lot of people that need drinks and stuff like that. You can't be on your phone all the time. And I respect that. But when you're not, like say for instance, if you're a single mom, all right,
Uh-oh.
and maybe you have two kids that are in school, and maybe you don't have a job,
Oh boy.
and maybe your ex-husband's texting you about the kids and in the morning, and maybe you don't respond for 9 hours like that. In my opinion, like, I mean, I don't know, like, whoever's in that situation, like, maybe you should be able to respond within a few minutes, like, instead
I
of
want
like
a
picking up.
response about my kids ASAP.
Right, like, you
Yeah.
can't just like pick up the phone at 4:30 at night and go, hey, I'm just seeing this, like, oh wow, like, I can't believe you sent me this text message. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Right.
you haven't been on your phone all day. So like, for anyone that's going through that situation, I can relate, possibly, but
I will
like,
say my wife is the queen of the impatient texter. I get a text from her. If I don't respond, it becomes a all caps text, and
oh
then there's extra punctuation, exclamation points or question marks or whatever it is. Then
well,
there's a missed call, a couple missed calls, and then there's even more like
yeah,
full caps text coming my way, and then I come out of the shower and I go, "What the fuck? What? I was in the shower for
yeah.
15 minutes now. Like, what's
Well,
the deal?
that's
What's wrong?"
super aggressive. That's very aggressive.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
for me, I don't understand some guys that do, like, look, I'm a punctuation guy. All right. Like, I'll say, hey, how you doing? Question mark, right? Like, what's going on? Question mark. Like, hey, like, this weather's great, period. Um, how about that play by Jalen Hurts? Exclamation point, right? Like,
Yeah.
but there's guys that, like, I haven't talked to. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I haven't talked to this dude from college in probably 3 years. And he sent me a text message like, hey man, like, how are your kids? And like, four exclamation points.
Ah, that's a question, doggy.
And
Timmy,
I'm
how's my punctuation? How's my
pretty solid, pretty
I was gonna
solid.
say, do you have your headphone on like that on purpose, or
Yeah, no, I was giving my
the
ear a
ears
breather.
get hot? Give your ear
Yeah.
a breather. Yeah.
So like, he sent me a text message with like the four exclamation points, and I responded to him because like he's a good buddy from college, and I was like, Matt, like, I've known you for a long time. I go, I don't really think that what you put out there about, like, you're asking like about how my kids are doing. I said, I think you went a little crazy with the exclamation points. I said it felt more of like a statement, like, hey, how are your kids doing? Like, almost like a period, right? I was like, maybe you could just use like one question mark at the end, like, and he was like, dude, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. I think you're just going overboard with your punctuation, like, through text. He was like, dude, you're nuts. I felt like you're abusing like some sort of like,
I
yeah.
am big on the habitual wrong your, whether they're using it your or youre. I'm big like if that's done habitually, I'm like, hey, we understand like your like yours. and you are
Yeah.
combined, right? Like that's the deal with that, you know.
Well, you got that, and then there's the there, and there.
Oh yeah, the theirs too. Yeah.
That's a tough one. It's hard to work around that one.
Well, you know what? I'm in the middle of decorate. I'm going to be decorating my kids' kindergarten class, and I'm asking the teacher certain questions about this and that. And I had to say through today, and it went through THREW, but I was trying to say like put through something, and I was like, oh shit, I better edit this quick. Normally, I'd be like, whatever, they know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to seem like a dope to the kindergarten. Hey, I fixed it. Notice that, I want an A.
Oh, that, and then you end up in a because you're probably with like the English teacher, so you end up in like a little in a lesson like Tom. I know Mickey is in my class, but do we need to do a lesson on there, and there?
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, God
There,
damn
there,
it,
Tom.
Tom, have a
Uh,
seat. Have a seat.
yeah,
We'll go through it real
yeah.
quick.
There, meaning over there, is THE. Okay. All right. So, texting, just respond. Give a respond. And guess what? If you don't see something or you forget, it's totally fine to say, hey, yeah, I saw it. I responded in my head, but I just never texted and then I forgot. I'll see that.
Oh,
Like I'll be busy at work. I'll see a text. Oh shoot, yeah, I got to do that. Next thing you know, I'm running around. 5 hours go by. I go home. I go to sleep, and I wake up the next day. I'm like, oh shit, I never responded to that text. Not a big
which,
deal.
but in like 10 years, it's going to be great because you'll be able to send a text through your brain, through your phone, and it'll be fine.
Well, that's another thing. Like as far as like me working goes, I'll get calls from my wife, while I'm at work, and she, I guess, thinks that I just sit there and do nothing. And today she gives
I can
me,
attest. I can attest that you do nothing.
yeah, I know, but she shouldn't know that. So when I'm pretending like I'm doing something and I'm getting a call, it's the day before Thanksgiving. It's happy hour. I've got a full bar and a couple seats over at in like the table area, and I'm working and doing my thing. She's calling. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, we're on our way. Oh, I got to stop and get this thing, and there's a lot of people out here, and blah blah." And like just like bullshitting with me, and I'm like, "Hey, it's happy hour the day before Thanksgiving. I'm kind of busy. Can I get yeah, I'll catch up later. Thank you." All
Let's
right,
move on. Let's move
let's
on.
move on. All right, so a big thing that's happened this week, and a lot of people asking me questions, a lot of people commenting, my diet. So I tried something different, Tim, and I tried a new thing, and maybe this is a problem with TikTok, but I went on TikTok. I saw a video. Dana White just did 82 hours fasting, no food, just water, blah, blah, blah. He feels great, all the benefits of it. And if I can give you some of it, do you want the benefits now or do you, no? So the
No.
benefits of fasting, this is called a water fast. And so you want to do it for at least 72 hours. The first day, you'll be drinking water. You want some electrolytes in that water, but they have to be 0, 0, 0. That means zero carbs, 0 calories, zero sugar. You can drink that the first day. The next day, you can continue drinking that, but you add bone broth. And you want a special kind of bone broth, the cleanest kind that you can get. I get it at Whole Foods. Go check it out. Bone broth, you can have one serving twice a day for the next 2 days. So after 72 hours, you will be feeling a lot better. You'll lose some weight. It helps with heart disease, stroke, hypertension, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, weight loss, cancer, Alzheimer's, and so much more. Fasting. It's the new cool thing to do. Check it out.
Well, if you guys are not watching the stream on YouTube, I could give a shit about whatever Tom just said. I just got back to the radio, to the microphone, and I missed out on whatever he said. So I hope that it went well. And Tom, you look great. I could tell the difference in your face. I mean, you look great. Fantastic.
Ah, I think I did lose some weight
Yeah.
in around the face. My skin feels a little bit better. It
Yeah.
was difficult. I went 80 hours with no food. It's been a while. Timmy, you think you could do 80 hours no food?
No,
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 you could do it.
no. I would never try. Um, I mean, it sounds fun.
Supposed to be good for you. Dana
Yeah.
White's doing it. It's all the rage. Got any questions about the water fast? Hit me up, DM me, text me, whatever you want to know. I'll let you know. Surprisingly, I had uh energy. I thought I would be like, you know, a shell of myself. I felt energized. I felt fine. Obviously I was hungry. My stomach hurt. I wanted to eat. I thought about eating a lot, but I didn't. And I feel good that I did it. That's about it.
I thought about eating a lot.
Dude,
I
I was thinking
I
about food a
was
lot.
I was starving. I mean, I that's strange when you like not when you don't eat for 80 hours. That like it seriously blows my mind that you were actually hungry.
Yeah. Hard to believe, Timmy, but after those 80 hours of not eating over 3 days, I was kind of hungry.
That's it's just you know what? Science again. It really just just when you think you have everything figured out, you know?
Just when you think you got all the answers, I go ahead and change the questions.
Science.
Science. All right. So we've gone fast food, and now we want to get into our Thanksgiving portion of the show. First of all, Timmy, I think Schmidt Lavelle should give a very big happy Thanksgiving to all those listeners out there. We love
Yeah.
you. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your friends, your family, loved ones. Enjoy a couple drinks, watch some football, eat some turkey. Anything you want to say about Thanksgiving, Tim, to our fans out there?
It truly is one of my favorite holidays. It's the best. It brings up a lot of memories of just family and friends and just sharing moments over the years with just people that you care about and that you just want to spend time with. And if you don't get to spend time with them, like you have an opportunity to spend time with people that you don't see for a while, it's just like it is really just like such a beautiful holiday. Um, and hopefully you are with the people that you want to be with at this time in your life and you're enjoying your time and you're having a good Thanksgiving and that's it. It's just a great holiday, man. Awesome. One of the
That-
best.
That's right. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there that's listening right now. So, Timmy, let's get into our first topic. We're going to be naming two dishes here. Two, it could be a side, it could be whatever you want.
Hold on.
Okay.
Before we get into that,
Yes.
I really need to ask you why. Why in the world does dinner for everyone in the world usually take place between 5 and 6:30? But for some reason, on Thanksgiving Day,
It's like
dinner
two
is
o'clock.
hey, guess what? Hey, you know what? What time we having dinner? Oh, dinner's gonna be served at 1 o'clock today. Why? Why does that take place? Why does that happen, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's just the idea of getting everyone together. But like, why not
Does
get everyone together around 1, 2 o'clock and have some cocktails and
well maybe that's what it
relax?
maybe it's the parents that just want to like cook the dinner and be done with it and just be like, you know what? Fuck this. Like I'm over the stove. I'm working hard. I'm sweating. I'm gonna get this thing done as soon as I possibly can, so I can enjoy the holiday myself.
Right.
And guess what? Dinner's gonna be served at noon. It's like maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's like crazy to me that like I get these like, hey, oh, by the way, yeah, if you're coming over, dinner's gonna be served at 1. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Why 1 o'clock when dinner is universally served between 5 and 6:30? That is dinner time.
Yeah. Why the switch for the biggest dinner day of the year?
Thanksgiving is, and then I have
Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. It's all about food. It's all about spending time with your loved ones, gathering around a dinner at lunchtime.
Everyone sit down. We're about to have Thanksgiving dinner, and it's gonna be at noon. Yeah.
Sounds like a pilgrim idea. You know what I mean? Like, you know what we'll do? We'll throw off these Indians and we're going to have dinner at lunch. This is our tradition. You have to do it.
It was Captain John Smith, Pocahontas, Geronimo. They're all sitting around. They're like, hey, let's just have some dinner right now.
Yeah. We're going to eat now. I'm tired. You know, John Smith was like, fuck waiting. I'm eating right now.
That's
Meow.
it.
Yeah, Tim, I don't understand that either. Why isn't it at 5? Like, I could see the first football game's on at this time. Come over around that. We'll hang
I'm
out.
I'm curious if there's is there families that actually have dinner at like 5:30? Does that happen? Does that happen? Because I feel like the latest of my friends is like 3. Like 3 o'clock is like, yeah, we're putting out food at 3, and yeah, it's gonna be that's the dinner time, you know?
Yeah.
Like you miss out.
I will say this year, normally in years past, we always go to my sister-in-law's and we're always there by like noon and dinner's at like 2, right? And this year we're going over at 4. So maybe we are hitting a dinner time this
Oh,
year. A
wait,
new
you
tradition. Thanksgiving dinner at actual dinner time.
it's impressive. If that's what happens, that's impressive. But I digress. Anyway, let's get into your what were we talking about?
All right, so we're going to be naming the most underrated Thanksgiving foods and the most overrated Thanksgiving foods. Tim, which would you like to start with first? Underrated or overrated?
I'm gonna go with overrated.
Okay, overrated. Would you like to start or would you like me to start?
No, I'll start. The most overrated dish of all time is any type of casserole that anyone brings to any Thanksgiving dinner. The casserole is out. It's the worst dish ever. And people make such a fuss of it. Oh, did you have the string bean casserole? Did you have the corn casserole? Like everyone makes a different casserole. The casserole blows, dude. It's out. I hate the casserole. It's just a stupid dish. Get it out. Get it out of my face. I'm gonna
Any
go
casserole.
any casserole.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Unless do you have a different casserole that you make, Tom?
Well, my mom, when we were growing up, and like I didn't love a ton of casseroles, but she did make this chicken and rice casserole. This wasn't a Thanksgiving thing, but I liked it. It was good. Chicken, rice, cheese. It was good.
I mean, like, yeah, that's fine. But usually, like a casserole at
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
you're getting like
you're getting
the
the
green bean
vegetable. Yeah,
casserole.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're getting
Yeah.
the sweet potato casserole and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's a shitty casserole that they just like, oh yeah, let's just throw something in there and it's gonna be a casserole and then everyone's gonna eat it. Casserole, I mean, people love it. I hate it. It's overrated. Out. See ya.
Well, I would just say this, Tim. If it's so good, how come we only have it one day a year? I never have green bean casserole any other day. It's not like we're hanging, oh, let's get something to eat. I'm gonna make something. Hey, you want spaghetti meatballs? No. You want pizza? Nah. You know what I could really go for? Some green bean casserole. I love it. I love it. We
Yeah,
got
we
any
now.
condensed mushroom soup up there that we can throw in this thing?
Yo, I need to go to underrated now.
Okay, well, can I give my overrated first, or you wanna?
Didn't you just do it? I
I
thought
didn't know. My
you're
overrated.
just piggybacking on me.
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying with the casserole dish. I mean, I'll eat
Yes.
anything. Doesn't really bother me, but I can understand what you're saying with the casseroles. The foods, the sides in general for Thanksgiving are really kind of like, they're all like, yeah, whatever. I guess we'll do it today, you know. But my overrated food is the main, is the big guy, is the numero uno,
Oh,
the
no,
turkey. The turkey
no,
is
no,
overrated.
no,
You know
no,
what? Hard to
no,
cook. I've had it
no.
dry so many
Uh-uh.
fucking times. It's just the turkey. It's usually bland. It doesn't taste good. I will take a ton of other meats over that. I'd rather have a burger. I'd rather have a steak. I'd rather have ham. Meatloaf, for crying out loud.
Mm.
The
No,
turkey is overrated. And part of that, I think, is because I think it's a difficult thing to cook and have it be tasty.
I think it's the number one underrated.
So this is your number one underrated is
Yeah.
turkey? So my
Hmm.
number one overrated turkey and your number one underrated is turkey. Wow.
Yeah. And I because I you actually took the words right out of my mouth. Like you go, well, like why are we like we eat it one time a year? Like and I have to say, like, why do we eat it one time a year? Because it's a fantastic bird. It's a great meat. Like you put the gravy on and then all of a sudden, first of all, I love how people like talk shit on turkey, yet they'll eat it on Thanksgiving and then they'll eat it for 2 weeks afterwards because leftovers are the best thing ever. They'll just turkey sandwich after turkey sandwich and turkey sandwich after turkey sandwich and stuffing and then they're like cranberry sauce. Everyone talks about the gobbler. It's ridiculous, dude. I love I love turkey and I love the sauce that it comes in. I love the gravy. I love if anyone can make it like a really good gravy with the turkey, I'm in, dude.
It's all
Like,
about the
dude.
gravy.
And it's a shame that we only have Thanksgiving once a year. I think we should have Thanksgiving at least 4 times a year. It should be once every quarter. We should have a nice little Thanksgiving meal, and it should be with family. And we should do. I don't know why we only do it once a year. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's
Well,
a
you got Christmas. Don't you have Christmas dinner?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Easter.
that? What's that mean?
Well, I would say if you're doing 4 times, like there are other holidays that there's a family dinner, like
Yeah, no, but that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, you should have a Thanksgiving turkey, like at least once a quarter, once in between
quarterly
February,
turkey.
quarterly turkey. You have the whole deal. Like, get the yeah, you have the yams and you get the mashed potatoes, and if you want to bring the string bean casserole, you bring that too. Like,
Love the mashed potatoes.
I think you have to get together once a quarter and you have a nice little turkey meal. It'll be fun. And then it'll last 2 weeks afterwards. You have plenty of turkey to have sandwiches and all that stuff.
Now, hold
I
on a
think
second.
it's
You're not a mayonnaise guy.
no.
And so your turkey sandwiches, what you just do turkey and bread? Like, how are you doing it?
Yeah, just dry turkey. I just eat the turkey. Just eat just right out of the bag. Like someone
Dark or
does
light meat?
like everyone does
Oh
the
my God. You're such
every,
a freaking white bread piece of junk.
yeah, they do
It's the
the
most
zip.
bland shit available.
I
I'm gonna eat
remember
the white turkey, no flavor, dry.
yeah.
Oh God.
My grandma would she would put like all the leftover turkey in a giant Ziploc bag. It's just like it's a mess. It just get in there and just be like it's just turkey
She
fingers
makes a
and
great casserole, doesn't she?
no, my grandma, no, she was terrible. She was she's she didn't make much that well, but I mean that leads to my Thanksgiving story, which is just a whole different nightmare. But I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, so then my most underrated food, I would say, underrated, is going to be the cranberry sauce. I love cranberry sauce. I need the cranberry sauce out there. It adds an element to that bland ass turkey that you got there. It helps cut it. It helps get a little flavor. And I when you don't have cranberry sauce, it's a big fail. I don't even care if it's the canned cranberry sauce. I love that too, but it needs to be there. It needs to be with the entire meal because it just ties it all together.
I agree.
Oh, you like cranberry? Oh, my, look at us. I might start singing zombies. Timmy, we didn't have to let that one linger. And let's go on to now some traditions. Thanksgiving traditions. Any personal traditions that you have or traditions that you love about Thanksgiving?
Well, Thanksgiving was always um, something for the Schmidt family because we're always tied into sports and stuff like that. So one of the biggest ones was we all went to Roman Catholic high school, and every Thanksgiving morning it was Roman Catholic versus Roxborough High School over um at Roxborough High School, which was just I mean, it was always lopsided. Like Roman always won the game, but it was great because there was such a strong alumni presence from the Roxborough area that also went to Roxborough High School and went to Roman Catholic. So like pretty much the entire neighborhood represented both those schools. And it was cool to see everyone over at the field. Um, just from usually like at 8:30 in the morning till you know 2:30 in the afternoon, and then everyone pretty much went home to their respective families, pretty hammered, pretty inebriated. Um, yeah, there's many a times that we would go to. Well, first of all, I played in the game for 4 years, which was fantastic, and we won all 4 years that I was there, which is great. But going from there to being just like a spectator was even more fun because like you got to watch the game from Cheapskate Hill and you would have a couple beers and yeah, you'd rub elbows with all the neighborhood guys and then yeah, they would tell their stories about their games that they played against Roxborough High School and then eventually you'd walk up the street to the bar on the corner, which was like a shithole dive bar. The only time that this bar would ever get any people
The Fountain
would
Street,
be
Fountain Street Inn or
Fountain
whatever?
Street. Yeah, yeah. It was Fountain Street Pub,
Okay.
and they brought in like three bartenders for the day. It was the only time they had more than one bartender on a shift. And it was just nuts, dude. We go up there, everyone sing this school song, and it was just like people just it was just like fun, man. It was just an awesome tradition that I wish they still had. Um, no, unfortunately, Fountain Street Pub sold. What I mean, I'm saying unfortunately, like it's like a sad thing. Like the bar was there for a day that we ever been in, but it was just a tradition that we always loved to go up there and sing the fight song, and then we rub elbows, we watch some football. Um, and that's really what Thanksgiving is all about. Is like family, football, right? And just being around people that you love and just dude, like Thanksgiving and football tied together is just it's going to be synonymous for years and years and years. And it's great that it's still that tradition still carries on because they still do it in the NFL where they do that Thanksgiving game every year where it's usually the Lions and the Cowboys play some shitty team and it's just an absolute rout. But um hey, like that's what it is, dude. It's great. Like you get done dinner and you're able to sit on the couch and watch NFL football and fall asleep and then wake up and realize that that game really didn't mean much that much. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I would say that's probably the best tradition of Thanksgiving, minus, everyone getting together would be the football aspect of it. And, just the high school's games and stuff like that is always a lot of fun. Now, the one year, and I guess this will lead into my Thanksgiving story. The one year I had just read this book. It's called The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. Are you familiar with this book at all, Timmy?
No, I don't read.
So it basically was saying the kind of stuff that maybe you weren't taught in high school and like maybe some of the war crimes or this and that, maybe questioning from the other side, almost a devil's advocate of what was going on in the actual what happened in history. And so they certainly paint Christopher Columbus in a very bad way in this book. And I was like, maybe, I don't know, 19, 18, something like that. And we were going to be having Thanksgiving. And I would thought it would be funny if we did the anti-Thanksgiving, everything opposite, pro Indian, anti-pilgrim. We had buffalo wings. We had, I don't know, corn, stuff like that.
Jesus.
And we just made a big like joke of it, like we were doing like just something completely different. And everyone in my house like got into it, like all my younger brothers and my sister and my mom, and like we just had people over, and it was just a ton of buffalo wings. We didn't do the turkey, we didn't do anything, but it was the anti-Thanksgiving Thanksgiving, and it was more just a joke to be different, and it actually turned out to be a lot of fun, and we had like a big party, so that's a fun Thanksgiving memory for me. But Tim, you said you had an interesting story earlier this week about
Well,
maybe.
mine's a lot different than yours.
Well, I don't know, I'm a weirdo. I don't know if you know by my 3 days of fasting, but I like to do some things differently sometimes.
All right, I'll try to give you the clip notes of this one, and if I get long winded, tell me to stop. But should I even tell this story? I don't know if I should.
Uh-oh. Dumb.
Well, no, like so
Is
we
it an incriminating story, or is it just a lot like it's something?
no, it's a good story. I mean, it's a feel good story that kind of went a little awry. So my mom used to work at Inglis House, which is it's a it's a rehabilitation center over on Sea Line Avenue for like people with disabilities. And my mother ran into a friend of hers from her childhood that was in a car accident with her brother. And at this point, he was a paraplegic and really couldn't talk, and just was basically relegated to a wheelchair. And I'm not laughing at like that at all. But my mom, out of the goodness of her heart, um, wanted to do something for this individual and wanted to bring him to Thanksgiving dinner with our family. And
Okay.
that, Tom, was a very difficult task.
How old were you?
I was in college,
Oh boy. So you
and
were on the Cheapskate Hill, is that what you called it? And had a couple suds and
so we were all in Cheapskate Hill, and my mom was cooking dinner, and she, told us about this whole situation. She's like, "Hey, we have to go pick up Dennis at 2 o'clock, and we have to bring him to the house, but they're not going to provide transportation, so we have to do it ourselves." And at the time, Tom, we had a minivan, a white Dodge minivan, and so to get Dennis from Inglis house to our house, we had to empty the minivan. So we removed all of the seats from the back of the minivan, and um we had
okay. So you remove
we,
all the seats and you get up there and you got to get him in the minivan, right? Now you
yeah,
put him in the chair.
no. So we get him off his chair, and then we put him in the minivan. We slid him. Now this Dennis individual, he's a paraplegic. He also has a colostomy bag.
Oh no.
So we get him into we get him we get him into the minivan, and then we just threw like the seat belt that was like supposed to be around where the chairs are, and we just wrapped it around, we wrapped it around them, and we like started we fold up his wheelchair. We put the wheelchair in the minivan. We started driving, and he just starts flopping all over the place to the point where like one of us,
Oh, who was driving?
my dad. So like one of us has to like get in the back and like hold him. So then we get to the house,
Uh,
and we get him in this chair where like we park and like
I'm crying, dude.
so we get him out of the minivan that he was rolling around for fucking the last 10 minutes. And like, God, I mean, goodness of my mom's heart, dude. Like she really wanted to like make this special for this guy. And we get him out and we get him in the wheelchair and we're like, all right, we got to carry him up into the living room.
Can he
So
speak?
not well.
So it's just
It
like like oh, so was he doing that in the back as he's like being tossed around?
is
Oh my God. Oh my God.
it's like man, like
Oh, no.
so we get him in the chair and we start carrying up the stairs and like it's great. Like it's all right, like now we're in a good spot. But we get him to we get him to the front door and his wheelchair just doesn't fit through the front door. And we're like, shit, now we gotta figure out a way to get him through the front door. So we propped the door open. We had a dog named Quincy who was a purebred boxer. And Quincy was a licker, right? So like Quincy would kiss you no matter what, who you were, right? So we're like, all right, we gotta get Dennis through the door and then onto my dad's leather chair that like is a recliner. So like it's just like a swift move. And me and my brother, like at this time, like we were in pretty good shape. So
Yeah. Why
we're
don't you just
like,
pick
dude,
him up off the wheelchair, fold it up, and
like, well, he was also like almost like 370 pounds, like dead weight, dude.
oh, he
Like,
was a big guy.
yeah, he's a big dude.
Oh, I'm imagining. Oh my God! So he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a monster, dude. So like we're like trying to get him. We're on the porch and like we see like neighbors are like driving by and they're like, "Do you guys need help?" And like, like, yeah, anything we can, like, yes, come on, help. So we open up the front door and the screen is open and like Dennis is like halfway through the door and it's like me and my brother and we're like shoving him through the door, dude. And my dog like at the time, like just comes out and like starts licking him in the face, and like he's like, Quincy. And we're like, this has got to stop right now. So we just like we gripped him up and like I grabbed this colostomy bag, we just drug him across the floor, and we finally got him through the front door and we put him in the chair, right? In my dad's recliner. And like, dude, we're like dying laughing. We're like crying. We're like, dude, this is outrageous. So we like finally get him in the chair. We put the chair in recline mode, and he just slides right off the recliner back onto the this dude. It was like the most ridiculous thing you'll ever like witness, dude. It was like something out of a movie, dude. It like you couldn't write the script to this, and like God bless Dennis because like he was awesome through the whole thing because like he knew like he was just along for the ride. Like
Right. He knew it was going to be tough. He knew the reality of it.
he just was so happy that he was out of like English house. Like he
Oh
was
my
like, dude, like
God.
I got people here that care for me that like are gonna and it was a mess, dude. Like we did the best we could, and it just wasn't good at all. It was a comedy of errors, Tom.
Oh my God. That is hysterical. God
Uh,
bless Dennis and God bless your mom for freaking trying to do something nice. And you know what? If he appreciated the day, so be it. I mean, you
Well,
made, oh,
the worst part about it was like the next year, my mom's like, "So we're picking up Dennis at 2." I was like, "No, we can't. No, we're not doing this again. Like the guy suffered enough. Like
yeah,
Jesus Christ."
right.
So we bet on that, but it was just a nightmare, man. It was bad. It
I
was
would say
terrible.
only if they provide the transportation. There has to be a better way, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
rolling around in the back of the minivan, you know.
yeah. It was not
You
good,
guys
not
tossed
good.
him in the back.
Yeah, we
All
could have
right,
been
Dennis.
arrested for like like abuse or something like that. Dude, it was brutal.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, Timmy, as we were saying before, the big tradition of Thanksgiving is football, and we could not think about Thanksgiving football and probably football in general without one man. And one thing that he did, Timmy, let's give you a little history of have you heard of this, the turducken?
Of course, I
Of
have.
course you've heard of a turducken. The turducken is a deboned chicken stuffed into a deboned duck, further stuffed into a deboned turkey. Outside of the United States and Canada, it is known as a three-bird roast, also known as a good duckin in England, by replacing the turkey with a goose, a gooducken, gooducken. All right, credit for the creation of the turducken. The most common claimant is Herbert's Specialty Meats in Maurice, Louisiana. Did you visit it last week, Timmy?
No, I did not, but I knew that's where the turducken originated.
All right, and the owners, Junior and Sammy Hebert, say they created it in 1985 when a local man brought in his own birds to their shop and asked the brothers to create the medley. Now, who is the man, Tim? I think you know the answer to this, that is responsible for the popularization of the turducken in the United States.
That was John Madden. John Madden made it famous on his again, football was number one during the Thanksgiving holiday. It was always something that the NFL wanted to push during the holidays. It was an opportunity to really capture, fans of football. And John Madden was the first to really push this agenda with the turducken. He used to give it out as an award to players that excelled during the Thanksgiving turkey bowl, if you will. And he would hand out turducken legs to all the individuals that did really well during those games.
Right. And you know what? This Louisiana Hebert Specialty Meats, they decided they want to get this down to John Madden. They showed him, he liked it so much he wanted to bring it on the show, and he thought it was interesting. So he promoted the unusual dish during an NFL Thanksgiving Day games and later on Monday Night Football broadcasts. On one occasion, Madden sawed through a turducken with his bare hands live in the booth to demonstrate the turducken's contents. Madden ate his first on-air turducken December 1st, 1996, during a game between the St. Louis Rams and the New Orleans Saints, right near where the turducken was created. John Madden and Thanksgiving and football, they all go hand in hand. I loved his calls. I love John Madden. I
One
just love
of the,
his
one of the cool things about John Madden was like the way he would describe like the turducken. He'd be like, "Oh, you got the turducken here, and you got to take the leg there, and you get it up there, and you saw it off, and you take a bite, and boom, and boom, it tastes great." Like that's the way like he would
yeah.
just he just get right into it. He
It's
just
looking
talk.
great. It's smelling great. I go, let's get into this right now. Bam.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way John Madden would do it. He was and he talk about Brett Favre, and Brett Favre, he'd have some turducken. He'd have his friends over, and we'd do the turducken. The best I could do.
That was good. I liked it. All right, Timmy. Let's get some quick updates on our fantasy football bet. So, if you don't remember or you haven't heard yet, the bet was the loser, whoever had the best overall season throughout the regular season, the loser would then have to caddy for the other person at a time named, like, to be named later, probably like in the, whenever there's a nice day at Walnut Lane, the other person will be caddying for that person. As we stand right
Or
now,
like Sandy Run, or like any major championship golf course.
okay, wherever. I just thought we originally were talking about Walnut Lane, but
No,
it could be
I don't
anywhere.
remember. I don't remember that. I remember it being like a full 72 7,000-yard course.
The longest course in Pennsylvania. 4 par 6s. All right. So right now the standings are Timmy at 8-3 with 1,558 points, and Tommy at 7-4 with 1,358 points. So that would mean Timmy would hold the tiebreaker in all of her points. It doesn't look like I'm going to catch him on that. I need some losses from Tim and some wins from me. Big weeks this past week. I had a tough loss the last 2 weeks, but I feel like they were kind of due to me as I had a couple lucky wins earlier in the season. Timmy had several buys this week and I think came through with the W anyway. Is that right, Tim? Am I saying this right?
That is accurate. Tom, I just wanted to check in on the crowd. I believe they are pretty happy with my performance over the course of like the last couple weeks, like I think nah,
It sounds like they're pretty happy about that.
it sounds like we're getting some applause there. So
Well, Timmy, you know what? You're up on the overall wins and losses, and you have a big lead in the score, so it's looking pretty good for you. Any comments on the remainder? You got a big matchup this week.
yeah, it's me versus the undefeated team of Mad Dogs. And I believe we have a bet that if I beat him, that he has to give me half of his trees, and supply my family with Christmas tree to every member of the Schmidt family.
Including your old friend Dennis from the where was the home that
Well,
those trees are going to be at the Secret Garden. And if you don't know where the Secret Garden is, that's right off of Ridge Avenue near Matthews Beverage. You'll be able to
secret.
find it, but don't tell anybody. The Secret Garden, where it's no secret that you get the best prices on Christmas trees. Go check them out. John Lynch has some great deals for you. Buy a live Christmas tree. Timmy, we'll get into some Christmas stuff in the next month, but we're both pro real Christmas trees, right?
Oh, absolutely. If you go fake Christmas tree, you're just a communist.
Yeah, you're a fake American, is what you are if you go fake Christmas tree. All right. So, fantasy football, Turdukken, Thanksgiving Day football. Real quick, let's touch on the Eagles. Big win this past week against the Kansas City Chiefs on the road against Andy Reid off a bye against probably the best quarterback in the league for the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years. And Tim, this team is, and I know the word you used the other day was an anomaly. I still don't think we've played a good game and we're 9-1. I've never seen anything like this. It's incredible that if anything, they've got a great knack on finding a way to win, which is the most important thing out there. And if they can keep doing it, wow, what a season. 9-1, and I still think we haven't played a good game yet.
Yeah, no, I say an anomaly because teams aren't supposed to do this. Like the way that they keep on winning. Yeah, they lose the turnover battle and then they still end up winning the game. They for the most part we're losing for the majority of the game against the Chiefs away and they still end up winning the game. It's impressive what they're doing. Like, and it's a testament to the coaching and to the players really like just buying in and saying like, hey, we're not out of this thing. And it's just really impressive to see how they keep on finishing games. And like, dude, I'm just blown away by like just how they respond and how they react. And, like they're just never out of a game. And it's just impressive to watch and it's fun to watch. And dude, it's your squad and you should be happy about it. You should be invested in it. And it's cool. Like, it's okay to be, look, we're 9-1 and like people like want to point out flaws. Why? Like, you're the best team in the league right now. Just just enjoy it, man. Enjoy the run. Um, and look, you can go through everything uh that you want to point out and say, hey, they did this wrong, they did that wrong, but like it's it's pointless when you have a team that is as complete as they are and as developed as they are. And like, dude, they shut out the Chiefs in the second half. They held them to 0 points, like which
That was
is
insane. That was insane.
and it's not like the Chiefs made mistakes. Look, they did drop a lot of passes. You saw that. But like the two turnovers happened because we made those turnovers happen. Like Bradley Roby punched that ball out of Travis Kelsey's hands. Kevin Byard intercepted that pass against Patrick Mahomes because he made a great play on the ball. Like it wasn't like just a bullshit thing that happened. It was just a football player making a football play, which is what you want to see, and it's just
It's
it's
timely. They're making timely plays.
yeah.
And like you said, like we barely got over 200 yards. They controlled the clock, the time of possession. They had won that battle by almost 5 minutes. And you think there's no way we walk away with a win here, and they
Mm-mm.
do. So
Yeah.
we have another tough game this weekend against the Buffalo Bills. And then it's the 49ers and the Cowboys. Something I did want to bring up when looking at the schedule, the NFL is fucking the Eagles, like seriously, on the 49ers Cowboys game. They have us playing the 49ers after they played the Thursday night before, 10-day break. Then they have us playing the Cowboys after they played the Thursday night for 10-day break. That's two games in a row against two of our toughest competitors in the NFC, and they both basically have a half a bye. That's bullshit.
Tom, I agree with you. But you know what? You ask any of those guys that play for the Eagles, they'll say, "Hey, we'll just play whoever's in front of us, and that's it." So, you can't cry about it. You just got to deal with the schedule that's in front of you. It's the same way as like people always talk shit about like people making the playoffs. Well, they didn't really play anybody. Well, dude, they don't choose their schedule; it's set for them. So you play with the people that are in front of you, and that's it. So that's what you have to deal with. You beat the guys that are in front of you, and if that's the case, then so be it. Move forward, and then hey, you're in the playoffs or not. That's it.
Yep. And hopefully the Eagles can find a way to win these games and keep that record going and moving forward to hopefully a number one overall seed. A tough win for the Lions this past week, tough win for the Eagles because they should have totally lost that game and the Bears blew it.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a tough little spot there. I thought the Bears were going to pull that off, and they ended up giving up a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter to the Lions, and the Lions end up getting another W. But like that's the only team that you really gotta keep an eye on is in terms of the number one seed. They got to make sure that because their schedule is cake to end the year. Um, and you just gotta you got tough opponents in front of you, man. You gotta just play the guys in front of you, and you just gotta keep that in mind. Like, hey, it's gonna be a tough road, and you just gotta take it one play at a time.
one play at a time, 1 week at a time, one show at a time. Timmy, this is going to bring us to the end of another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. Another great episode. We appreciate you listening. If you're not already doing it, please give us that follow, that like, that share, that subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. Schmidt Lavelle. I'm so thankful for that show. And we are thankful for you. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving and you're out there with your loved ones, watching football, eating the overrated turkey, chowing down on some underrated cranberry sauce, enjoying yourself, spending time with friends and families, helping the dead weight into your house and fall off the recliner and drop them and roll them around in the minivan and bust his colostomy bag and, just take care of people out there. Right, Tim?
Yeah, all that.
Timmy, anything you want to say to Schmidt and Lavellites before we sign off?
Dude, the best part was like the screen. It was like it was on a spring, so the screen was smacking him in the head, and the dog was like licking his colostomy bag, and then started licking his face.
Oh my God.
And he was going, Quincy.
Oh my God. Tim, hit us with it before we sign off.
What would the world be without Captain James Hunt?
Amen. God bless you. God bless America. Happy Thanksgiving. Until next week, my name's Tom Lavelle for Timothy Schmidt. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you.